Next one, the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complexes. Until now we have discussed about octahedral. Now it is tetrahedral complex. Tetrahedral complex consists of 4 ligands. So these 4 ligands, so how can you imagine these 4 ligands is, so a cube, in this cube, alternative corners, in the alternative corners, each ligand you can just imagine, that is so if this is one ligand, not here, here, not here, once again here, not here, here. So likewise in 4 different alternative corners, so you can observe here, here, so this is the one, here it is not there, here it is there. From whichever end you consider also, it should be like this only, you should get it. So here alternative, this is also an alternative, here this is also, this one is not there, this side, this is not there, this side. So however you consider also, you should get an alternative end only. So in a cube, in the alternative corners, how the ligands will be, like that the ligand will be approaching the metal atom. So this is just an imagination, how the ligand will be present in an complex, how the ligand will be approaching the metal. So that is what, that is just an imagination. So when you consider tetrahedral complex, so we'll be considering, we'll be having 4 ligands here. So none of the ligand will none of the ligand won't be pointing out exactly to the d orbitals. So that is d orbitals of the metal is not exactly pointing towards the ligand, or ligand is not exactly pointing towards the d orbital. That's what we can get from the tetrahedral complex. So from the tetrahedral complex we can say that, so 4 ligands, so those ligands are not exactly pointing towards the d orbital. So that means that, so we can say that dx square minus y square and dz square. So at least this dx square minus y square and d square, this is one set. We can call this one as set E, and dxy, dyz and dzx, this as a T2 set. So set dxy, dyz and dzx, they are little closer. They are little closer to the little closer to the ligand in the direction, or they are little close towards the direction of the ligand, but they are a bit far from the direction of the ligand. So obviously, I mean, in the beginning itself we have pointed that the ligand is not pointing towards the d orbitals. Any of the d orbitals it is not pointing, but a little closer to dxy, dyz and dzx, and it is very far from dx square minus y square and dz square. So if it is little closer to these orbitals, so these orbitals are with that is, these orbitals will be it will be having more repulsion. It will be experiencing more repulsion than these things. So if the repulsion increases, then the energy of these orbitals also will increase. If energy increases, this becomes less stable. So here repulsion less, energy less, then it will be more stable. So first thing you should remember is, so ligand is not pointing exactly towards the d orbitals of the metal. So if it is not pointing towards the d orbital of the metal, then splitting energy will be less. That is crystal field stabilization energy, what we call, or crystal field splitting energy will be less than the octahedral complex. So those are the very important points. So that those points will note it down here. So first thing, ligand is not exactly pointing towards d orbitals of metal. So if it is not exactly pointing towards d orbitals of metal, then delta value decreases. Delta value is nothing but crystal field splitting energy, crystal field stabilization energy, or crystal field splitting energy. Delta will be less. So it is less than that is it is for delta T will consider, that is crystal field splitting energy or crystal field stabilization energy in tetrahedral complex will be less than crystal field splitting energy of octahedral complex. So if at all, if the ligand is not exactly pointing towards the d orbital, then dxy, dyz and dzx, that is T2 set. It is being called as so T2 set will experience, because they are in between the axis. So the ligand in the tetrahedral complex will be aligned also in between the axis only. So the orbitals whatever are there, so are lying in between the axis only here. So this is in between the axis only they are coming. So because of which so T2 set experiences more repulsion, than E set. Which are the E set orbitals? Those are dx square minus y square and dz square. So these are the few important things. So the 3d orbitals are pointing, while 2dx square minus y square and dz square are lying in between the ligands. They are lying in between the ligands, and they are pointing, not exactly, but in a close pointing towards the ligands. These are close pointing towards the ligands, and these are lying in between the ligands. So they are close pointing towards the ligand, so because of which it is experiencing more repulsion than E set, which is lying in between the ligands. So this is about the important point here, and therefore so what is going to happen in the diagram we shall see. This is our energy graph. We know that metal has 5 orbitals, 5 degenerate orbitals. So metal, with that degenerate orbitals are there. Degenerate orbitals. So when ligand approaches the metal will be showing the same thing earlier what we have discussed. So when ligand approaches the metal, so it forms an spherical symmetry around the metal. That is when it is moving towards the metal, it is forming an symmetrical. So an symmetrical spherical symmetry around the metal. The electrons of the ligand will be repelling the electrons of the metal in the d orbitals. That is nothing but there is an repulsion between the negative charge or lone pair of electrons on the ligand towards the electrons in the d orbital. So due to that repulsion, the energy of these orbitals have been raised. Due to that the energy is going to raise, and that raise in energy we mention as average energy. Average energy of d orbitals or degenerate d orbitals. when metals come very closer to these orbitals, when metals come very closer to these orbitals, then these orbitals will be closer to the ligand orbitals. These orbitals of the metal will be very closer to the ligands. So because of which these will experience more repulsion. So if these experience more repulsion, then they will be they are going to increase with the energy. They are going to increase with the energy, and these are lying in between the ligands. If ligands are there, they are not coming closer to the ligands. They are in between the ligands. So at that time, repulsion is also less for them. So if repulsion is less, so the energy is going to decrease. So energy decreases. How much energy is being decreased? So we'll write it. So it decreases with a larger energy. So how much energy, with how much energy it is going to decrease? It is going to decrease with minus 3 by 5 delta T. And these are increased by plus 2 by 5 delta T. So we call this one as, we call these orbitals, that is dxy, dyz and dzx as T2 set, and dx square minus y square and dz square as E set. So the energy difference between these two is nothing but crystal field splitting energy or stabilization energy in tetrahedral complex. So this is very important point you should remember, that is these orbitals will be experiencing the more repulsion than these things. So why it is experiencing more repulsion? It is because the ligands will be coming towards them. So at least not exactly towards, but it is very closer to the direction of ligands. But here these orbitals will be lying in between the ligands. So that's why they experience less energy. So less energy, more stable. That point also you should remember. It is less energy, that means that, so we'll write it that point here. Less energy, nothing but more stable, and more energy, nothing but less stable. They are less stable in nature. Those are more stable in nature. So this is about the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex. So that is an diagrammatic representation. So few more things are there. So you can observe here. So whatever the difference in octahedral complex, the energy was increased by 3 by 5 delta T, and it is decreased by minus 2 by 5 delta T. So why there is a change in octahedral and tetrahedral is, since they are not exactly pointing towards the d orbital, the crystal field splitting is less. So that's why these variations are there. The crystal field splitting is less. Due to that reason, it is in this manner. Now, so one more important point in this. So if at all, if crystal field splitting is less, we said crystal field splitting, if it is less, then how much less it we need to look into that one also. So that means that the relationship between delta T and delta O, that is crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex and crystal field splitting in octahedral complex. If at all, if you compare that one, then the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex, that is equals to 4 by 9 delta O. It is 4 by 9 delta O. This is important. So delta T is equals to 4 by 9 delta O. The orbital splitting energy are not always sufficient. This energy is not sufficient. Since what happens here is, so it is not sufficient. So that is why there is a very less gap between them. Delta T value is less. If delta T value is less, then what happens? So the splitting will be like this. Splitting will be like this. If delta T is very, very less, then electrons are present like this. The third electron will move into the higher energy level, or it will jump into T2 state or T2 set. So at that time, so it is not going to pair up with the electrons or pair up with the E set here. So since delta T is less, so if delta T is less, earlier we have seen delta O octahedral complex, if it is less than pairing energy. This is the condition. This is the very important condition in most of the tetrahedral complexes. This is the condition you are going to see. Delta T is less than pairing energy. Then what happens? So pairing doesn't take place. It is very, very small. So if it is small, obviously the electron will jump. If at all, if it comes here, it experiences repulsion. So because of that one, to avoid repulsion, if it is small, immediately it jumps into the higher energy level. If it jumps into the higher energy level, it forms high spin complexes. High spin complexes. So remember always, so tetrahedral complex, in tetrahedral complexes, most of the tetrahedral complexes will be high spin complexes itself. It is because, so delta T value is less. So because of this delta T value less, pairing doesn't take place. Immediately it will jump into the T2 set rather than pairing up in E set, and it forms high spin complexes. So this part is also very, very important, and this part is also very, very important. The next one, color of the complexes. So how the complex will exhibit the color, on what basis the color of the complex is being explained by CFT, we shall see now. So color of the complex, it is due to the DD transition. DD, that is very, very and a very, very important thing. What is the DD transition? We shall see that one now later. Before that, so how it is going to happen, we shall see. So color of the complex. So whenever a substance is there, on this a light radiation is made to fall. A light radiation is falling on the substance. Then substance will absorb. Substance is going to absorb some amount of wavelength, a particular wavelength radiation it is going to absorb. So after absorbing that one, it is going to excite the electron. After absorbing the energy, it is going to excite. So after exciting, in the excited state, it is not stable, it should return back. While it is returning back, it will give out the absorbed energy. That energy will fall in the visible region. It is going to fall in the visible region. By that, the substance will appear as a colored thing. So the substance, when light falls on any substance, it is going to absorb a particular wavelength radiation. So after excitation and de-excitation, it will give out the absorbed radiation, and that absorbed radiation will fall in the visible region. So the substance will look as colored to us. So in case of coordination compounds, what happens is, so it is going to absorb an particular radiation, but it seems to be in another color. That is, suppose if this is called as color wheel. This is called as color wheel, and you can see that. So to one end we have red, to another end we have green. To one end we have violet, another end we have yellow. To one end we have orange, and to another end we have blue here. If at all, if the substance is absorbing red color, then it will appear as green color to us. If at all, if it is absorbing violet color, then it will appear yellow color to us. Likewise, if it is absorbing orange color, then it will appear as a blue color to us. So those are called as complementary colors. Those are nothing but complementary colors. Complementary colors. The substance will absorb one color and it will appear as another color. So this is nothing but it is the color wheel. In the color wheel easily we can make out that one. So if at all, if delta is very low, so this is completely the color of the complex is completely dependent upon once again the delta value. If delta is very low, red color it is going to absorb and it will appear as green color, or it is going to transmit as a green color. So how it is going to happen, we shall see. If delta is very low, if delta is very low is nothing but splitting. So we shall see this part. If delta is very less, then what happens? So the electron has to jump. The electron is in this orbital now. It has to jump to this orbital. So to jump that one, if the spacing, the difference is very less, then small amount of energy is sufficient to jump here. So when you consider VIBGYOR, when you consider VIBGYOR, R is with the higher wavelength. R, so we can write wavelength is higher, and what about its energy? Energy is less, because wavelength and energy are oppositely related to one another. So how it is? We have seen E is equals to hc by lambda. These two are constants. E and lambda are inversely related. So if R is wavelength more, energy is less. So if at all, if delta is very low, then the spacing or difference in energy is very less. So the electron from this lower energy level to higher energy level to jump, it requires a very less energy radiation to be absorbed. If it absorbs, if it has to move, it has to absorb less energy radiation, that is red. If it absorbs red, then it appears as green. Likewise, if delta is high, that is nothing but the spacing between these two higher energy and lower energy is very higher. That is a higher energy orbital and lower energy orbital. Between them, a very big spacing is there. So this is what delta is. Very high spacing is there. So to move from this level to move from this ground level to higher level, it requires higher energy. Higher energy means so violet wavelength less, energy is more. So it absorbs violet radiation. If it absorbs violet radiation, then it will appear as a yellow color. So remember, so in case of color of the complex, so crystal field splitting is very important. If crystal field splitting energy is very less, then red colored will be absorbed and green color will be transmitted. If crystal field splitting is high, then violet color will be absorbed and yellow color will be transmitted. So this is based upon this part. This is based upon this part. So less energy, less energy required, higher wavelength radiation you should take. High energy required, less wavelength radiation you should consider. So that is the thing. And now I said DD transition, that is very important. So we shall take up one example and we shall see what is the DD transition, or how the electron will jump from lower energy level to higher energy level. We shall see now. So this is one of the example, titanium. So in this, if you observe, titanium is in +3 state. It is in +3 state. So the electronic configuration of titanium, it is argon 3d2 4s2. That is it is 22, 18, 20, 22. In 3+ state, the electronic configuration changes to argon 3 electrons you should remove here, 2 from here, 2 from here, and 1 from 3D level. 2 from 4s and 1 from 3D level. The electronic configuration becomes ergon 3D1. So only one electron is present. Since it is an octahedral complex, T2G set in the ground level and EG set in the higher energy level. So in this case 3D1, only one electron is present in the ground state. So if at all, if it is going to accept, or if it is going to, a light radiation is being made to fall on the complex, then it is going to absorb the electron and it is going to shift to the higher energy level. So in the higher energy level, it is going to accommodate. So the electron from lower energy level being shifted to higher energy d orbital. Lower energy d orbital to higher energy d orbital. That is what we call it as DD transition. We call that one as DD transition. This is about the titanium. This particular example we have taken, and in this case the electron from T2G set, it is going to shift to EG set. The electronic configuration of this transition, we can write it as, earlier it was T2G1 EG0 and it is being transmitted to T2G0 EG1. So this is what called a DD transition is. Electron from lower energy d orbital transmitted to higher energy d orbital. This is called a DD transition. Suppose if at all, not this example. So this is an extra I am writing. So I'll write it here, those things. So the color of the complex is according to the according to the DD transition. We shall see now. So if at all, if this is our these are the distribution of orbitals are distributed in this manner, that is T2G set here and EG set. Now in this, so here the electrons are filled. Electrons are filled in this manner. Now, if this is the electronic configuration, one electron from this orbital, one electron from ground level has a possibility to move to the higher energy orbital. So, one electron, any one electron from the ground state can shift, if at all, if it absorbs some amount of energy. This substance is going to absorb some amount of energy and it can shift to higher energy level. So DD transition is possible. At that time, this substance is colored in nature. It will show some color. Suppose if at all, if the configuration is like this. The configuration is like this, that it is completely filled. So from the ground state, the electron cannot move to higher energy state, because in the higher energy state, both the orbitals are completely filled here. So if at all, if this electron wants to move also, it cannot be accommodated. It cannot be accommodated in any of the orbital. So at that time, DD transition is not possible. The substance is colorless in nature. The substance is colorless in nature. So if DD transition is possible, then the substance will be colored. If DD transition is not possible, then the substance is colorless. That is nothing but completely filled orbitals. If it forms, then it is colorless in nature.